So hello, everybody. I'm Tom Mills, and Sunil Joshi is on the other line. We're going to give you that first look into SumTotal 18.2, what we think and what we see in the tool. And just kind of, we realize we probably have a lot of stuff for an hour. And actually, I don't think that it's no Sunil. No, not really. So if you guys have any questions, go ahead and put them in the chat there, and I'll make sure that we answer those things. I don't know if I can bring you on as live to talk or not. This is my first time using the webinar portion of Zoom, so we're going to see what we're doing. So just kind of reset this again. We're at Ischamp. We're a SumTotal certified partner for implementations, tier 1 support, and we can sell you stuff too, I guess. Though I've never sold anything before from a SumTotal perspective. We try to be kind of independent on that. What we do, we have our products and services. We do consulting. We try to help you around with everything SumTotal-ish, or everything really business-ish. We do integrations, third-party feeds, transcripts, large course loads, blah, blah, blah. So as you can get it, we kind of do that. But we also have a couple tools out there that we've recognized there was a need from that SumTotal really wasn't handling well. We have a new badge reader that doesn't require a badge. So we're calling it the attendance tracker. It's really not a badge reader. It reads your QR codes that you send out to people. I think it's kind of a neat solution to, hey, but everybody now works at home and they don't ever really come in except for training. So that's one of the answers we have to that. Unwind is a way to remove curriculums in ILT, people in multiple sections of ILTs. The goal there was to make curriculums usable, so you didn't have to fix a whole lot of things if somebody was accidentally enrolled and took a course. And then we also have a bulk ID change tool. So that's it. I'm Tom Mills. I'm the president of Ischamp. I've been helping business align to implement their business strategy for over 30 years. Our focus is, I've been focusing on SumTotal Learn since 2011. Came on to fix some customers at my former company, Adiana. That's where I met Sunil, and we've been working together ever since. I've been an enterprise change leader, implementing lots in PeopleSoft, SAP, Tezrec, a few other things. I also did a Wall Street Journal front page transformation on the BNSF railway, so that was fun. And we have Sunil Joshi. Some of you guys probably know Sunil. Most of you probably know Sunil from because he and I both know each other. And we talk with each other and the people we're working with at the time. So he's been an LMS consultant since 2003, started out in Docent, and went to SumTotal, probably 7.2 is the first one, Sunil?
That is correct.
Yeah, so it's probably about 2007. And he's done customer support, technical engineering, and like I said, we work together at Adiana, and that's how we kind of know each other and make things work. So we have a lot of topics we can talk about. We're going to see what we can get through on this in an hour, and we're going to probably go through this pretty rapidly. Sunil, do you want to go ahead and start with the focus dashboard?
Sure.
So I'm going to stop sharing and turn it over to you.
Okay. Thanks, Tom.
All right. So when we I'll let you have that up already. You go ahead and put it up on the screen, and I'll talk until you get there. One of the things in this focus dashboard, the first thing that kind of worried me is, okay, we're going to go to new look after everybody's developed all their dashboards. Well, that's really not the case. What you can do is add it to your existing dashboard, and that's where Sunil will come in and give you a couple. It's really just what they've done is created a couple additional widgets that you can put on any of your dashboards. How's that for summarizing, Sunil? Don't tell me I lost you already.
No. I'm trying to understand this Zoom. I think I got it.
You're sharing now.
Yes. So let me know. So hello to everyone. My name is Sunil Joshi, and I'm a consultant. And just for the disclaimer, I do work as a consultant for SumTotal as well. But here I am to talk about what's new and what is really important to most of our customers. So there is a new feature comes in, and of course that's a new item and everybody's excited about it. But then also comes the point that how do we use it? How do we fit it in the existing system? And also about how I can best utilize it. Sometimes there are features you may or may not need it. So sometimes you need a voice who tells you that it's okay to not not to use that. So this is where Tom and I consult about that. We look at the new product and we see what's really maybe important, and we also would like to answer if any questions about the functionality. And sometimes you don't get all the answers from reading SumTotal documentation. So if you have any question, please send it through the chat. I'll try to monitor, but I'm not known for multitasking. So I'm pretty sure, Tom, you keep an eye on chat and let me know.
Yeah, I'll keep an eye on it. I just threw something out there. If you guys want to put what version you're on, what platform you're on, and any worries you have about this current version.
Right.
That'd help us direct what we're going to talk about today.
Right.
We kind of scheduled this as kind of free flowing.
Right. So the goal is to talk about 18.2, what's coming up, and any attendees have the older version and they are moving to Neo, and if they have any question, I'll try my best to answer that because I've just done a couple of conversion from 8.2 to 18.2. They are moving, and some clients just moved from 2016 to 18.2. So if you are curious about that, how it would impact, then please let us know. We'll be more than happy to talk about that and help you out with at least the, what may be a best practice. All right. So any question before we start?
Yeah, and Kathy is wondering, had a question about the ability of end users to modify OJT class titles, and let's go ahead and wait till a little bit later for that. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Let's go ahead and go ahead and log in.
Right. So this is a generic SumTotal Learn implementation. So we don't have, we have SumTotal logo and all that, but this is on 18.2.3. And I'm using our generic admin ID just to show you how it looks and how it works. So first thing is I log in. Let me know if the screen view is too small for you and I can increase it. I'll try to take over on my screen on my side, but sometimes it may not be as big as.
You've got the full page.
Right. But sometimes, those screen resolutions. So if you need, if you want me to make it bigger, I'll be more than happy to. So anyway, by default, this is a one test landing page. And most of the clients who are coming from 18.1 or before, or 2016, they already have everything set up in their system, like they have the landing pages and all that. So now suddenly SumTotal introduced a new landing page. We called it they call it learning focused learning landing page. Then the first question comes, how do we integrate that? So what they have done is basically made it available as a, basically you have to enable it. And once you enable it, it will show up under dashboard. So about enabling it, so I'll just quickly spend just 30 seconds. So I'm on my landing page, and I do have a system admin access. So if you are wondering how I got here, please let me know, and I'll show you. So I go to admin mode, I look at the dashboard, and first thing is on the dashboards, I go to edit, look at the learning focus dashboard. It will show up parallel to home page, which most of the clients use it. So I go to learning focus dashboard. In my case, I have enabled it out of the box, or after the upgrade, it comes disabled. So you have to enable it here. Then you go to dashboard pages, pick the learning focused. I'm sorry, I had to go in edit mode, select that learning focus initial, and enable it here. So as soon as I make it enable without going through the security, it will be available most of the cases. Admin has to just log out, log back in. And sometimes the core platform takes few minutes to clear the cache and apply the new changes. So it could take up to 10 minutes before you see these changes. So after 10, 15 minutes, you don't see it. It's time to review the settings, or maybe you want to talk to your support or system admin what's going on, or you may want to open a ticket. It in my personal experience, most of the client, just turning it on worked within 10 minutes. So you may want to give it 10 minutes. And as soon as I go to the security here again, I can see it, learning focused. And I pick this page, and it takes few seconds. So here, out of the box, as you can see here, yeah, you see all the security groups have permission to view it. So that means it is available for all the users to use it. Sometimes client says, okay, I like this new one, which I haven't shown you, but you may have seen it, and they said, okay, drop all the existing dashboard and we will just use this one. If that is the case, then you leave these one alone, like these permission, and then you go to all your existing home pages, basically select each one of them and remove these securities. So they are not viewable from anybody except the system admin. And that's how you can turn on, make your new learning focus dashboard as your landing page. So when you land, you will see it. So this is just a quick overview, how you turn it on. Once you turn this on, in my case, I've already done it for the, for the preparation for this demo. So now I go under self menu, I look at the dashboard, and I have this learning focus dashboard. And what it contains here, let me close it so I can show you how it would look to our learners. So it has 5 modules or widgets installed already. So this is enterprise search. We put a link here. Here on the My Learning, here it shows. This module has been out there, widget has been out there. When I saw the first demo, I thought that I have seen that when I click on the 3 assigned, it should be taking me to here on the timeline and show me this assigned tab. But when I checked it with my other client sites, and when I checked this side, it is not working. So it seems like once I have seen the demo and the one, by the time it went live, it may have been removed. So from the folks who already have this, this is an existing widget, they just put it on here. So if it is not working, it is just because, they did not finish it in time to deliver it. But I do know that this is in a kind of upcoming type of stuff. So if it's not working now, hopefully in the future, hopefully I don't have inside info on SumTotal to tell you whether it's coming for sure or not, but I have heard a lot of conversations, so that may be coming. Right next to this is the resume learning module. So they already put this widget on. So basically all the courses I have started and I have not finished, it shows up here. And if I have more courses, then, this carousel type of, widget is here, and it adds all that courses here. So I can quickly resume, click on it and resume it. The bottom part of this page has my favorites. So anything I click on, one thing I really liked is that any course I like, now I just can click on this heart icon and put it into favorite. And I really don't need to worry about, once I click on a favorite, I have to go to view detail, click on the favorite and put it in the favorite. This is really nice. And also, goes with what is new way of interfaces are going. The third thing, and as they say about the demos, the third item is not being displayed. So this is the third item, or the actually fifth item. Search is the top one, then learning activities, learning report, then we have resume, my favorite, and the last one is recommended activities. This gets populated based upon what interest you have, shown to, for the system. So for example, first time I come around, it was empty. I clicked on edit interest, and then I picked up a job, and it shows me that what job I picked up, and I can change it to something else. And then I click on the next, then it asks me what topics I want based upon all the topic structure. In my case, I just simply selected all. A user will have access to select as many as they want or as few as they want. Once I select that and I close it, and it updates my recommended activity. Pretty nice. Yeah, most of the users, like it, and it's really handy. Only thing what comes into picture is, job and learning activities are tied. Each job is configured with some sort of a learning activities. Then it really shines. So there is some work involved. But since it has a topic structure also involved, so user can start with the topic structure, add them, and I have seen it at one client place where I'm talking about 10-year-old story, but they really like the job and the training association, and they did not announce it, but when people are taking courses, they can see that people are getting ready for the next job, or they can do this job. So it's a lot of hard work, but I always recommend to my client that at least think about it for the future. You don't have to announce, it doesn't have to be initiative, but as you are adding new courses, you may want to think about it. I always talk about the skills also, but I'm gonna deviate, so we'll talk about those someday in the future, but quickly wanted to show you this. So this is the new interface. Now, a couple of things about this. Something is happening with this. My browser, give me a moment. Sometime I lost vertical scroll bar here. I don't know why.
It could be Zoom.
But yeah, it could be Zoom because I have gone through these slides before. But anyway, what I wanted to show is that this is a new new dashboard they created. But from the other perspective, if you already have these type of dashboard, or you already have a good dashboard design in place, you really don't have to use this one. All these widgets are available for you to use on your other dashboard. What is a good thing about this dashboard, that all the widgets you see are programmatically optimized. So if you notice, it came pretty quick, not because I performed it or I have a special side. It really works pretty fast, and that shows that these widgets are optimized now. In the past, what I heard about a lot of issues with the performance, and especially with the administrators, because they have to go and they have access to everything. But when they go here, they are stuck while page is populating it. So at least these objects are optimized. If you want to use these objects in your existing, pages, existing dashboard, they are available. So let me see if my vertically scroll bar works here. So I just wanted to show you where they are. So we looked at the search. So I'll just quickly go, and this is a new one, search. So all you have to do is just add and you put it on your existing dashboard, right? Pretty straightforward. Recommended activities is the one where if I pick a module, if I pick a topic, recommended courses are there. And recently launched, shows you, so there is always a question between recently launched and resume learning. Recently launched shows you the list, and resume learning. So one of them shows only 10 items. To be honest, I tried, can't remember which one. One shows only 10 items, other one will show you everything which is open.
Resume learning is only 10.
Okay. Yeah, there was one of them and I can't remember which one.
Yeah.
So those topics, what you saw, those widgets you saw, they are all available here. So it's not that something like my favorites is there. So if you have an existing, dashboard, you can use them and you really don't have to activate this learning focused. So just wanted to give you, usually you see a new feature and you always wonder how people are using it. Does it really make sense? If it makes sense to you to use this new one and get rid of everything else, you can do that using just the security map. Very straightforward. And if you like some of the feature and you say, oh, how about I put them on my existing dashboard, you can do that as well. And the third thing, what I didn't talk about is learning focused gives you some, objects here. And if you decide that, oh, I really like it, and then you can just add more widgets down below, or you can rearrange them and save it. So you have all those options. For existing clients, I say, look at these new module widgets and see if it helps you, then go with that. So that's about the new widget. The new dashboard. Any questions before we move on to other items?
Yeah, I think we need to get moving on because we're about 27 minutes in.
Yeah.
It won't be as long on the next one, I promise.
All right. So my list is, so Tom, can you share your list? That was one of the items.
Yeah, and the next one's new learning filtering options, and then we'll talk about the Skillsoft and learning and training.
So I'll show you. Here, for example, I can look for project management. And when I select that, it brings me over here, pulls up all the courses. And here you will see these watch, read, listen, what we call, SumTotal calls it modality. So you can set it up per course. And also the search always starts with the learning instead of, I think it was all results before.
Yeah, it was all results before.
Which will go against everything.
You can switch it to, learning seems to be the one that makes the most sense. You can default it to any of these other ones. Right. Though I think probably if you're in learning is probably the best thing to default it to.
Right.
But it's because it's a global default. It's not, You can't pick and choose by role.
Right. Okay. So just wanted to show you that these features will show up. This is available in the new search, right? We also have this calendar view. So if you are looking for an instructor-led training, when they come back, you can click on the calendar view and it will display the calendar view. This is just an example when those things are coming. Or I can, default is that list view, but you can switch it. But what I want to show you is where you can set it up. And more importantly, I think the biggest change I liked about this version, and I personally waited for 15 years of my consulting, is that the new audience feature. Everybody may have heard about it, but I'll quickly go over that. So let me pick a course. So I'll just pick an existing course. Let's see, not PES courses. So this is an existing course. I just want to quickly show you. So first thing was that different modality available. That's under system metadata. And here you have this feature, watch, read, listen. So if it falls in one of those, then you can mark it. So as you move forward, you can just mark them as you create new courses. Pretty nice. It helps with the searches also. And it comes handy if your clients are mobile users, like mobile app or mobile phone or the tablets, then it comes pretty handy. They can see which one are good for their devices.
So Neil, it doesn't magically figure out, watch, read, and listen for all your learning activities you currently have in place?
You have to turn this on, and basically it's pretty simple implementation. In a way, these are the three.
Yeah,
attributes we have added.
That was a bit of a joke, but
yeah, I know.
Yeah. In order for you to use that modality filter, you have to actually go out and make the changes. So it's not something that it goes out and says all of this type are going to be watches, all these are going to be reads, and these are all going to be listens, or
right.
all that fun stuff.
Right.
So there is work if you really want to leverage that function.
Right. Moving on. One other thing, which is a part of extended enterprise and a new feature, actually, you don't need to have enterprise, extended enterprise, is a user cannot register for individual activity. So it is designed to work with our extended enterprise type of offering. Because, sometimes you have a course, I don't know what industry you are in, but some of our clients are in, let's see, one client I have is in a membership of executives, for example. So all over world, all the executives they have this association and everybody's a member there. So what they have done, and I have seen it in the past, is basically they give you, free courses, you can try for 7 days and then you can. So here, this could be, like in those cases, these could be teaser courses. It looks pretty nice, but when you try to register, it says, no, you got to buy, it's a part of the course. So you buy a bigger, bundle or buy something to. Also, from the delivery perspective, you do not want it to be available for any other use, just simply like that. So they are packaged and contained. So you can use them in a curriculum also. So this is something I'm pretty sure there was a reason for productization especially for extended enterprise. This is a great thing. A lot of our clients wanted it. But other industry, I'm still thinking that how they will be using, or I haven't heard anything about that yet.
Yeah, I mean, so you could, to make sure maybe somebody's doing all the training and just not cherry picking. I suppose that would be maybe another reason. Do you want to go over bundles while you're here?
So any of our attendees are interested in a extended enterprise, then I can quickly show. Otherwise, I don't want to take up your time.
Oh,
The concept is very simple.
bundles are now available for all users.
Okay.
Yeah, that was one of the changes, Neil. The bundles are available for any user. You don't have to be enterprise to have bundles.
Okay. So how bundles activities work, pretty straightforward. You create, let me get out of this place. And you create a bundle. And basically bundle is a collection of courses you can offer as a bundle. In extended enterprise mode, it used to be like, instead of taking 10 courses separately and paying $10 to each, if you buy this bundle of 10 courses for $50 and $50, and then you can deliver it. So that's the concept. So you create a bundle, and then you go to learning activities. You can write here, you can associate activities, you click on add, and basically let me call it something, my favorite naming convention, so it doesn't show up anywhere. And save.
Yeah, I suppose the other reason the bundles come up in the enterprise search as well. And the other thing you could use them for is kind of what they're doing in Skillsoft on the channels. You can group all the preferred courses you have, say for Excel or PowerPoint or whatever your training is. You can maybe have a bundle that has all the most current information in it. So you're kind of putting all the right stuff in the right place.
Okay, right. Any question on bundles? It's pretty straightforward. It just you have to use your requirement, how you want to bundle it. I have seen implemented only with the subscription type of sites where people have membership and they want to sell them different management courses. That's where I have seen it heavily. In 18.2 now it can be done without extended enterprise.
You know what, Neil? If you did the bundle,
mm-hmm.
So if you did and Kathy, this might be for you. I know HealthStream courses like RQI and so forth like that, we kind of build separate audiences for some of our clients and build a whole scheme to kind of make that work. Here, you could put those courses in. This would be a way to kind of control licensing as well. So only you can assign that bundle to an audience, and only those folks in that audience could have access to it. And that could limit the number of people you have to it. And you can even, kind of cherry pick that and kind of manage it so it's only key people. So that's another use for you, both that bundle and that restriction to only be able to take the course if you have that bundle. That makes sense, Neil?
Yes.
So that just kind of sprung into my head why you might want to use it. All right, so we've kind of gone through that. We probably should touch on the Skillsoft PES and the go-to training. And we talked
about the PES is it's basically Skillsoft's Percipio offering. It's available. It's a basically integration. Skillsoft Percipio provides the content curation, curated content for all sorts of topics you may have seen in their demo. But you can integrate with your existing SumTotal Learn environment. Only thing I want to really discuss about it, you can bring in the PES content here, and it's pretty straightforward integration actually. The biggest thing I want to emphasize about that, you can have only Skillsoft content also integration, or you can have per CPO. You cannot have both, at least in 18.2. So that becomes a decision point for most of my clients. Like when I bring it up, it comes that, okay, if you want PES, which is a per CPO integration, right? So then you cannot have Skillsoft also integration.
Yeah, and I would recommend that you get rid of the ALSA and go to the PES, because I think that, well, first of all, it's going to give you access to all your Skillsoft data, including the stuff that previously wasn't sent across the books, and it basically is tracking all the activities that were in Skillsoft before. So where the ALSA did not track books and so forth. So you get in full functionality, and it also brings across the channels. Channels become kind of the bundles that we're just talking about from the Skillsoft perspective. And then also there's integration to go to training. Let's kind of skip through that one. CMI 5, Sunil, you want to talk about that?
Oh, CMI 5 is basically XAPI, kind of extension of XAPI format for content, So earlier we, SumTotal supported Ischamp. Then last, I think almost a year back, we added XAPI. And now we have added CMI 5, just out of the box integration. So if you want to integrate something like which looks like a MOOC, it's a very common abbreviation now, but it basically tracks every interaction you have, and you can skip courses, and you can record, kind of extension of XAPI, it's more going towards a standardization. So now we have provided SumTotal has provided the native support for that. So now you can build courses in a CMI 5 format or specs, and you can load it. The examples I have seen, none of my clients have adopted it yet, because they are still trying to understand how XAPI would work. But I have seen the CMI, a kind of a copy of one of the Udemy course, and they loaded, and it was inside the LMS, SumTotal LMS. And for users' perspective, it just behaves similar to any other course. But from the system tracking perspective, it follows all those, tracking of events, learning events. So if you clicked and you watch the video, 3 minutes video in one module, and then you move to second module, and you read up to page 5, it tracks everything when you come back. So CMI 5 is big. I personally haven't seen with the client yet, but that is being adoption has started outside the corporate, situation. So people have started looking into it. So that's coming up, but it is available now with SumTotal 18.2.
And Neil, and then you can watch, I think the AU support. Basically, some of the automation, you used to have to load all right, help me out. The other, not SCORM, is the other one. ADS.
AICC was another one. That's the one you're talking about?
Yeah, because the AU basically it allows you to launch from the AUs, where it used to never allow you to do that.
Oh, okay.
And then actually, can you go ahead and show the go to training integration?
Oh, where is go to? So
how to set it up, and basically this is just kind of like it's going to be set up just kind of like your other activities would be. It basically is going to call for.
Hold on.
It's.
Did we turn it on this server? Because
it's going to be as a learning activity, right?
no, learning activity, but you have to set up the go-to server first. But let's go back. If you're just talking about how to, if I go to this course again.
It's gonna work like one of the other ones. Go to webinar, and not the go to webinar, but
right. So the main key thing about the go to, I don't think I can change it here, but once I turn it on, because I can't do the launch. Okay, let me create a new one real quick. So the important part about the go-to integration is SumTotal system works with the go-to training module. The provider of that service is, they also have go-to meeting, go-to webinar, things like those products, but it works with the go-to training product. So that's important. I get queries about that. Oh, I have a go-to meeting account. Does it work? Then officially, maybe the credential works and whatnot. Maybe it works, but go-to training is what is officially supported. It's very important.
And I might just have that in the documentation. I have them show that. It might be just as fast to do it that way.
So here you see this launch method is go-to. And what I did not see, Tom, is like our training server is not set up for the go-to integration yet.
Okay, yeah.
Once you set it up, then you select this and then you provide more info. And that's all we need to do.
Yep.
Hold on. Let me check. Yeah.
Oops, I grabbed the wrong thing here. It's this one.
Here, under domain virtual setting, go to settings. Hold on. Sometimes it requires 2 clicks. So here you have to enable go to training, and we don't have it for our training server. So that's why it didn't work. Once I set it up here, the go to training team will provide a consumer key. And I have seen this also part of my training, that it works, pretty smoothly. So once you have this, it's pretty much after that, it's just a selecting go-to option. And it does have a lot of options, like you can have the email registration inside, outside, and some notifications are also tied with it. Pretty nicely done. Right. So quick time check. I'm pretty bad with the time, so Tom, what's the next item you want me to?
Let's talk about observation checklist as a certification.
Right. So that's the 2 big items I wanted to talk and almost forgot. One thing I started and I lost track of in the conversation is so where do you go? My quickly want to find some online course. And then I'll go back to OCL in a second. So this one, the new feature for the audience.
Oh.
So here, until 18.1, you could have 1 audience. If you add more audience, they would work in an end condition. So basically, user have to be in both audience to, be to be able to register this, register into this course. Now, for this, with this version, now we have changed it, and now you can have any. And now I can add another one. And now if I have 2 audience or 3 audience, it will look for you. As far as user is in one of those audience, they can register. And the common recommendation is, I mean, it's not a big deal, but common recommendation is keep the existing one at the end, because you may have hundreds, if not thousands, audience set up, designed only for this type of work. And my recommendation is just as you create more audience, you start looking at, and maybe quarterly have some cleanup and get rid of old one, very specific audience which you created for, client creates just for addressing a certain scenario. So basically we created audience where behind the scene, we added 2 audience to create one. It's time to clean up, and maybe you can gain some performance in that process. If you get rid of, let's see, 20%, then system doesn't have to worry about those 20% audience. So this is the one I wanted to talk about and forgot. This is the one I personally waited for 15 years. So wanted to talk about this. Moving on, let me, with the OCL. So in the past, I personally recommended my clients to, kind of work around this OCL limitation we had. If you wanted to use OCL as a certification, there was no straight way to create a certification for observation checklist. So the another option was you put it inside a curriculum and force the curriculum as a certification. And then the reporting and the recertification wasn't there. You somehow kind of tracked everything under curriculum. Not a great strategy, but now you can have a OCL with the certification. So it has a multiple part, but I'll just show you one where now you can set it up for certification. So this is where you can set up the certification, similar to any other certification you have in your LMS. Another item related to this is under global settings, and I believe it's in general settings. Could be in a domain setting, but I'll check. I think it's here. Nope.
Yeah, let's just
let me quickly check on domain setting. It may be in a just jumping between these lot of setting. I always lose track of those quickly. If I can find it in 10 seconds, we'll continue, else we'll jump on next thing. It's basically you can define how many days before the observation checklist. It's a domain level setting under basic setting. Up to here is so how many days before we want to notify them, users. So you can set it up a default value, and then you can also override on certification. So you can say 90 days before the OCL expires, they can fill out for the next cycle. All right, Tom?
Yeah, the only other thing, the other thing about API, there's a lot more reporting capabilities. It actually is going to be sending you're able to report on the data on the report writer, report manager.
XAPI data, that's what you're talking
about? Yeah,
API
data is going to be in the is going to be synchronized nightly.
Right. So that information was in a previous version. You can take a SCORM course, and the data was written in the SumTotal database tables, but through advanced reporting there, we did not have access to that data. So in 18.2, they exposed those tables to advanced reporting. So if you need to extract that data, XAPI interactions and build some report out of that, now you can do that.
Okay, and then the built-in social and customized help is the only other kind of things we really kind of wanted to talk about real fast.
Right. Real quick.
Social is actually a pretty good tool now. And before it was only locked into social with a course, and you could kind of fake it out into having a course for social activities. Now you can set up just social and let people do what they want. The benefit of doing it within the LMS is you're not exposing it to the outside world. It has the ability to delete all the user data for a person that comply with the GDP, and what else? Go ahead.
So with the social, earlier it was with the SharePoint. Basically, SumTotal integrated SharePoint website under LMS Learn, and social was recorded under SharePoint portal. Now, with the 18.2, SumTotal has its own application as a social learning. So it's kind of built-in, literally built-in, rather than SharePoint integration. And besides that, the social learning aspect still works the same way. You can create your, communities outside of a class, or you can create it one for course. And good part in this one, what I noticed is that this one instructor is a moderator. They can really moderate, chats and all that. The SharePoint one in the past, not because it's in the past, but I heard about a lot of challenge about updating, moderating anything. So there were a lot of things worked and did not work. With this new one, they streamlined and now they put it in one integrated solution. So that's custom help. It used to be there, I don't know, maybe 15 years back, but it's kind of came back. Now you can either upload a document under custom help, and it is available under common objects, configuration, and where to go? Profile and team configuration, and your custom help. So two ways you can do. You can upload a document, or you can build a URL to whatever site you want to set up. So if you have internal site, you can use it. For premised customers, I would recommend that if they don't want to use the context sensitive help going out to SumTotal, server, it's a great way. You can configure your own. You can put it on your own SharePoint portal. For SaaS clients, I think the way SumTotal is building their help with a lot of videos and all that. So this is more of my personal opinion by watching this whole utilization and how SumTotal help is growing. Of course, you do have this option. All you have to do is set up a site, set up your whichever way you want to set up the help, or you can upload a document and it'll work. But for SaaS clients, I still think it's something to just use SumTotal's help, and it's getting better. I'm not trying to sell SumTotal's help here, but I'm always looking out that would it cost too much to build your own, and lately it's outweighing that benefit of having your own. If you don't want that, you can hide it and you can use this one. So you do have that option.
Okay.
Looks like I ran over time. Sorry about that. I do see a couple of questions, Tom.
Yeah.
I see
Kathy, I'm
from
going to bring
Patty.
you online. I'd like to, I'm going to allow you to put you, unmute you. And I'm not sure which phone is you. You'll still have to unmute yourself. But can you explain what you're talking about on the, what your, kind of what the business process is for OJT and what's happening?
Can you guys hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. All right. Perfect. Hello, everybody. So we noticed with the most recent upgrade that when a user goes to an OJT course and they go to manage OJT classes, when they create a new class, it allows you to modify that title now, whereas before it was grayed out and it stayed consistent with the title of the OJT course. And I am unclear as to whether this was a bug or this was by design. With the upgrade, it's we've gotten to the point where we're starting to discontinue the use now because it impacts the integrity of the OJT course OJT class relationship. And so I guess I was looking for clarification if you guys knew whether that was supposed to be a new feature or they overlooked it.
It is not documented feature for sure. And I understand exactly what you're talking about, because other clients they did not use OJT, my clients in the past, just because of that reason, because they could not change the title, right? So they couldn't say Sunil delivered this OJT. They were not able to. Only thing that Sunil delivered some OJT. So I know exactly what you're talking about. It is not documented feature. Otherwise, I would have known, like internal, in SumTotal internal, at least they would have talked about it. This is a new feature. They would have talked. So at this point, I would say, open a ticket with them and see if they can clarify. I'll check on my side, but, assuming you are a client of theirs, so they will be able to give you a quick reply on that,
Well, yeah, they did reply, but it was very unclear. It was more like we'll get back to you. And then that's all I got.
Oh my God, they already used my line. So, oh my God. So let me investigate and get back to you.
Yeah, I've got
Yeah,
something.
how about that?
I've got a meeting on Tuesday that I can probably ask that question.
Yeah, bring it up, please.
Okay.
Yeah, but at this point, my gut feeling is just they missed out, or they meant to bring it in and they just forgot to document.
Okay.
But your preference would be not to change because that's how it worked last.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And when they do make some changes to accommodate, a lot of times they'll make it so you can turn it on or turn it off if they had made the change.
Right.
However, that wasn't the case when on curriculums. And they made a nice feature, and then they said, oh, but you can't remove the actual curriculum. You have to have that there. You must maintain that.
Yeah,
but
find out.
Yeah, I'd appreciate that. It
Sure.
hugely impacts what we do. So I'm not sure what action to take, whether it's going to, if they're going to fix it, we can keep using them. If they're not going to fix it, that's huge.
Right. What about this other question you had about the go-to? Did I get it right?
Yeah, we covered it.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. Helpful? Was this helpful at all, or?
I thought it was extremely. I really appreciate you guys taking the time to do this. It's always interesting to see another perspective from a non-SumTotal employee professionals aspect. So I appreciate the opportunity.
Yeah, we try to. Well, one of the things, a lot of times they put out stuff where, they're developing a product. We're developing ideas and how to implement and make things work. As such, we have a tool that fixes the curriculums, right? Where it's so hard to kind of unwind those and kind of take them out when somebody's misregistered. so, you know, we said we just need to make this easier for people. So, you know, we developed a tool using the web services, and it basically unwinds the curriculum, except for that last little portion where it's the regular curriculum, because they actually have code that prevents us from doing it. But, you know, that's kind of what we do. We look for how things match. I mentioned your hospital. HealthStream has RQI. We had the hospital I'm helping out with. They only want X number, these certain people to have access to it if it's in their job description. And those things are all important for them to kind of regulate, because those are pretty expensive courses. And that's the reason I think that's like for the bundles, you know, back and I think of use cases of how you would use those, not that we have them available to us. So that's kind of the perspective we like to that we like to do. So anyhow, that's kind of where we stand. We kind of help you put things. We try to figure out why you're wanting to do it, and then build it that way, versus here's the way everybody else is doing it. Anybody else have any questions? Anything that you'd like to see more in this? Kathy, since I have you on the line. Would you like us to do these like once a month?
That would be awesome, or with every update would be fantastic.
Yeah. So yeah, and this is just one of those things that I've been wanting to do for a while, and I thought 18.2 upgrade would be a perfect thing to do. And this broadcast is on YouTube Live. This will be on my Ischamp YouTube site. So if you guys want anything to do, I should probably stop his sharing here. I probably have to go to the mouse first, and I have to. If I share, now let's just do this one and get to contact information for us. I think most of you probably received an email from me. That's my information, the Ischamp YouTube channel. That's where this is going to be at. And I'm missing my chat here. And oh yeah, and I can put that in the chat as well. But that'll be out there. I've got a couple other videos out there, one talking about perspectives and a couple other things, and I'm trying to put something weekly out on that. I've been really bad about it recently, but if you guys have any questions, feel free to send me a message to me. It's Neil at that same address at Ischamp. We're also going to do some enhanced support things because we're just seeing the need for it. We do one thing I probably didn't put out there on the earlier slides is we do reporting, advanced reporting. We'll set up JRXML, specialized stuff. Because a lot of times it's nice, but it's just not very efficient. Some of the stuff that is in the base product. I'm not saying anything bad about the base product. It's a great tool, and we just every once in a while find a thing to make it just a little bit better. So, anything else we can help you with today? Anybody else? Okay. All right. Well, with that, thank you guys for coming out today and participating. We will try to do another one in these in about a month, and we will see you later. Thank you.
Thanks, Tom.
Bye now.